Rachel, tell us a little bit about your experience and what motivated you to become a surrogate.
Well, I was actually approached by my best friend to be her surrogate. Her husband and her had tried for 4 years with no success, and they were actually told that they would never have a baby of their own. And then they approached my husband and I, hey, will you do this for us? And of course, absolutely. And then I think a couple months later, she got pregnant out of nowhere, just got pregnant. And the thought was already in my husband and my mind, you know, we want to help a family, let's continue. Let's look for an agency close to us and see if we can be matched with a couple. I knew going in that I wanted to work with a same-sex couple. And so we applied at many different agencies and actually only got accepted to one. And so we met my intended fathers and very quickly got along with them and loved them. And about 6 months later, we did a single embryo transfer with minimal injectables. I actually only used Lupron to shut down my cycle, and the rest was done by oral and suppositories. So that was very exciting. The reason we only transferred one embryo was because we wanted to minimize our risks of having multiples. So I got very lucky that our one little embryo did not split, which is rare, but could still happen. And then 9 months later, actually 3 weeks ago, I had their son. So it was a very, very fast process for us. I think it was only 6 months between our match meeting and our transfer. They are amazing. I couldn't ask for better intended fathers. They still are very caring, very open to my opinion about how to birth and how to, you know, set up everything for the baby, and that means a lot to me. So.
Why did you all decide to go with gestational surrogacy?
Well, because I didn't want to be the biological mother. I didn't want that bond because I have a son of my own, and I share that bond with him. And so it was, I don't want to say it was easier, but it was just, it felt right to know that they have their donor, and one of them is going to be the biological father. I will carry their baby, and that was it. I never wanted that bond. So
within the world of surrogates, there's a range of opinion then. Some surrogates are willing to do traditional surrogacy and others to do gestational.
Yeah, I don't know. It was, I knew I wanted to be pregnant and give them their child. It wasn't, I want a bond with this baby, which I can't say that I wouldn't have had that bond if I had been the biological mother. But I'm also not saying I don't have a bond with the baby, because of course I do. You know, we bonded for 9 months, and then I had him and got to watch the intended fathers blossom into this beautiful family and bond with their child, but I never wanted to think that's my blood, that's my baby that they're bonding with. So it was much easier to just know that they're going to use their donor, and they have whatever relationship they want with her, and she'll have whatever relationship she wants with the baby, and I'll be the surrogate. I'll be the, you know, the cool aunt that they come and visit, and eventually they'll know that I carried him and helped the process.
That was going to be my next question, what you foresee the relationship as it continues. What do you think the most important ingredients of your relationship during your pregnancy and during the implantation were?
Probably our openness, just our communication, and knowing that we all wanted the same thing. We all wanted the same outcome, and just the communication, making sure that they knew exactly what I was doing, and, you know, anytime they had questions, they were more than welcome to ask, you know, what did you do last night? Mm-hmm. I would tell them exactly what I did, and it was, I don't know, just open.
So they were They were intrusive then, you're saying?
Not so bad, actually. It never felt like they were nagging. Any questions they asked, it never felt like, oh, they're checking up on me. Oh, they're making sure I'm doing this and this and this right. It was always, how are you and your family? It was a more roundabout way of asking me what I had been doing or what we had done and where we were going to go and what we were going to do. It never felt like they were nagging, ever, because they trusted me.
And I asked Mary this as well, but what do you think the most challenging part of being a surrogate was?
I'm going to go with labor. Only because we had such an amazing relationship the whole time. I can't even think of anything that I would change or alter or do differently. Overall, the hardest part was labor. And maybe saying goodbye, but knowing that I'll see them again, it almost wasn't a challenge. It was, I will see you soon, and that was it.
How did you say goodbye?
How?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were at the airport, and it was short.
How did they want to be in the delivery room?
They did. That was actually one of my very first questions I asked them at our match meeting, was how involved they wanted to be. I wanted a couple that wanted to be in the delivery room and wanted to go to all of my doctor's appointments and wanted to Skype if they couldn't be there, and I really wanted to form a relationship with them before baby even was transferred or was even born. I wanted that relationship. I wasn't going in as, I'm going to carry your baby for 9 months, hand him over, and I want to cut the ties. It was, I want a relationship, so I needed to make sure that they were going to want to be as involved as possible without being nagging or checking up on me all the time. So they were both in the delivery room. One of them held my hand, and the other one, he will be so embarrassed when I say this, was crying behind in the background, just very emotional watching his son be born. So it was very exciting having both of them be there.
It is very emotional.
Yeah.
I didn't cry.
Kelly cried. I cried at the second one. He cried at the first.
I didn't cry. I wasn't there. I didn't get to be there. He cried when we got the news. I don't think he's in the lobby anymore. Bill's poking his head in. Rachel, do you have anything else to add?
I don't think
How did your
so.
family take this? How about that?
Oh, my family. My parents have been 100% supportive the whole time. When we first brought up the thought of, hey, I'd like to carry a baby for somebody else, it was support but jealousy. Like, why are you carrying a baby for somebody else? How about you have another baby? And we want more grandchildren, and this will be so much fun. And they've never been negative about any of it. They were 100% supportive when I said, I'm caring for a same-sex couple, this is going to be so great. They've always been supportive. My mom actually came out to help us with our son, and she has been with us for the last 6 months. So it was nice having the support of her coming and helping with house stuff and, my own family stuff, while I could focus on their baby and taking care of myself and not having to worry about anything else.
So your parents haven't asked to see the baby or anything like
my
that?
mom got to meet him, and that was hard. You could tell that again, the jealousy kind of kicked in. But, she was so happy and proud of what had just happened, but I can only imagine.